Into some more stories. Recently, Caitlyn Jenner shared her thoughts on people who are coming out as transgender. Jenner said, "Right now, because of the amount of publicity that is getting, it's like everybody thinks they're trans, which is not the case." Do you agree with Caitlyn? Is coming out as transgender a trend? Al, what do you think about this?
No, absolutely not a trend. Absolutely not a trend. I think people are coming out more because we've made them feel safer now. They feel safer to walk in their truth now because we have a better understanding what transgender is. Before it was classified as a mental disease or a mental illness, but now we know that it's not. So I feel like because of the media bringing true awareness to it, people like Dwayne Wade and his family bringing awareness to it is making people more comfortable in coming forth. And the second thing is, I need somebody who, I mean, I understand that Caitlyn Jenner is probably the most popular transgender, the most famous transgender person in the world, but I need somebody who's been actively out transgender more than 6 years to tell me what a trend is and what a trend is not in that community.
I hear that. Q, what do you think about this? Because I remember I felt like Caitlyn was totally on a. This took all the attention of that vehicular homicide that Caitlyn caused right before transitioning, like that very next week. And we don't even talk about that. Caitlyn killed somebody, and you're over here talking about. Okay.
I just find it odd that her Bigfoot ass, she get to come out and it's natural and it's what she was
Right.
doing. Now want to marginalize everybody else is coming out and reduce them to doing it because it's a fad. I don't want my words to be taken out of context here, but hear me carefully. Nobody chooses. Listen, we live in a country where being gay and trans is the worst thing you can be. Okay, like from a social perspective, it's the worst thing you can be. You're the butt of all the jokes. You get rejected from your religion. You get rejected from your family. The first time, the minute somebody's ready to insult somebody, the first thing they want to say is gay. Or the first, when you want to insult a woman, the first thing you say, she looks like a tranny. You look like a man. Nobody chooses the harder path to life. Okay. So to Al's point, you know what I'm saying? When people come out and then, you know, and again, do not take my words out of context here. When you want to rank the hierarchy amongst the LGBTQ community, trans is at the bottom of that totem pole. Okay. So trans is really the last thing that somebody wants to do for a fad. You know what I'm saying? If people are coming out and saying this is who they are, knowing what the backlash is going to be and how they're going to be viewed in this world, 9 times out of 10 is what they truly feel on the inside.
I find it funny that, you know what Caitlyn reminds me of the white women that benefited from affirmative action, right? And get all the benefits of that. And then when they get to their position, they want to then shut it down and be like,
Oh, for sure. That's a good analogy.
That's Caitlyn Jenner all day long. Oh, look what their trends. She has all this negative stuff to say at the same time benefiting from being a white, wealthy, right-wing transgender person. What? You another bitch. Shut up. I'm telling everybody to shut up tonight. Shut up, Caitlyn, and shut up, Candace.
Do you want to know what's funny? To be honest with you, and I don't want to get in trouble with the trans community, I honestly don't think Caitlyn is trans.
Well, damn.
I spoke out against that one time and I got dragged.
I honestly don't think Caitlyn is trans.
What would you, so if Caitlyn's not trans, is she cross-dressing? What is it?
Crazy as hell and got a hold of some of that Kardashian hoodoo voodoo and is doing it for pop. If anybody is doing it for popularity and likes, it's her. And the reason that I say that is because so much of her rhetoric, so much of her viewpoints are very much anti the community. Now, granted, she has been a rich white man longer than she has been a rich white woman. And oftentimes, I don't think Caitlyn understands the privilege that comes with that. And she doesn't think like a minority, and she doesn't think like a disadvantaged person. Her politics and the way she thinks is still that of a rich white man.
So that's so interesting, because I would think that she thinks like a rich white woman.
No.
I get rich white men.
She exercises the privileges of a rich white man, but the way she talks, she acts like a rich white woman.
And you would think that being trans, coming out as old as she did, it would have softened her and given her some type of sensitivity to what marginalized communities go through. And she seems to still carry on like a rich white man and not give a damn.
I remember one time Caitlyn posted a picture in a robe, hair like, towel, and was going through hair makeup and said something in the caption along the lines of, hours and hair makeup. Oh, it's tough being a woman. And as a woman, I felt triggered by that. I felt like you're appropriating a womanhood. You're not really trans. And I'm going to say there is a difference. There are people who truly feel in their spirit, in their heart, that they were born the wrong body. And I feel like Caitlyn and a few others are just appropriating womanhood. And I commented, of course, I didn't hold back. And I said, oh, yeah, sure. Because that's all that is being a woman, is getting hair and makeup done and getting some implants. When I tell you, Shauna, all kinds of people is coming from my neck. And I'm like, don't you see that Caitlyn ain't for you? And I'm calling Caitlyn out. Like, I'm not the enemy here. And people like Caitlyn that infiltrate and like a Trojan horse, that's who the problem is, I think. You're not helpful to the community, but you try to benefit, just like the white woman with affirmative action. And then you want to shut it down after you get in. That's what I think. Okay, well, speaking of Caitlyn, during the interview, she also claims Kanye was difficult for Kim to live with and claims that Pete is much easier and treats Kim so well. What are your thoughts on Caitlyn's comment? Oh, I'm so sick of talking about this heifer.
She need to mind her damn business. She need to mind her bit. You send your big feet ass up there doing the interview. Your big feet, baritone voice having ass up there doing an interview for whatever it is you're doing. Why is you discussing the inner workings of that woman's relationship and her configuration in her household? Like, shut up.
I just didn't like the fact that he said we don't need any more rappers in our family. Like, really? Well, like, what do you, when you say something like that, first of all, I'm already feeling some kind of way because I feel like there's a racial undertone to that. And I think the reason why you're praising Pete is because she finally went out there and got her a white man after she's ruined all these other black men's lives. But I'm going to let Q, I'm going to default back to Q. Go ahead, Q.
Well, you can't even say in our family, because Courtney just got married to Travis Barker and did not invite her ass.
I used to feel bad for Caitlyn when Caitlyn was Bruce. Like, I was like, damn, he's so disrespected on that show. I felt so bad. I remember all he wanted to do was play with his little toy helicopter. I'm like, oh, why won't Chris like show him any respect? But now that Caitlyn, Bruce is Caitlyn, kind of, you need to shut up. Shut up. And you want the, can I come for the looks? Would that be negative? Will I get dragged if I come for the looks?
Probably you can't do it.
We better go to commercial.
Y'all know what I'm thinking. All right, we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Tonight.
We got a quick commercial break. Caitlyn, Candace, shut up. We'll be right back after this.